Okay, I thought I might do another video showing how much of this car I've actually replaced and how much is still to go. I've also noticed a few things on YouTube with the comments on some of the older videos I've done, some of the XA stuff. Some people are being surprisingly negative. You know, that stuff is not really intended for any real purpose except for it was fun at the time and shits and giggles, really. So some people take stuff way too seriously. Because, I mean, if I had half a brain cell, I'd have left this car where it was. However, so let's start at the front. That's a new piece. Brand new. Actually, really nicely fitting piece, actually, as far as a replacement panel goes. Up here, I have a brand new rad support to replace this bent one. I've obviously replaced the plenum. That's top and bottom, two sides. Obviously braced it before I took anything out because, well, do that without that and you'll see what happens. I have replaced that inner panel which goes behind the A-pillar. It goes from here all the way through and out the other side. There's a top section here which comes to here. That's replaced. Floor pan, section of the floor pan, all of the top of the firewall, the bottom of this donor section had to be replaced and made, so that's a good second hand with a new bottom on it. That's a good second hand. Floor pan, I used, well, the front floor pan was quite acceptable for a replacement panel. No, it's not very good, but it's close enough. The back one was, I'm going to be frank, that was utter shitness. That was one of the worst floor pans I've ever put in, because it not even had, the pressings weren't even in the right direction. I'm like, what the f was that person thinking? I mean, I couldn't make a floor pan, but maybe I could. But yeah, I mean, really, that's the best you can do. So, and I've just finished reconstructing the whole bottom of that. It's had obviously, if you're watching videos, you know I put an entire sill panel on it, inside, inner sill panel and outer sill panel. So it's new inner. The only issue I have with that is I really wish they did not make it a galvanised steel, because that's a fucker of a thing to weld. It really is annoying because you've got to grind off all of it before you can even weld, otherwise it starts screwing up the welds. There's a piece that goes in here. You can just see here. That's from a company called Better Than Your Old Stock, and that's a good piece. Absolutely amazing. And there you can actually see that bottom half. I've still got to do that little bit there, which I'll do in a minute. Replace that section there. I've still got to weld in there. Also, that's on, as you can tell, lined up beautifully. I've actually added some welds in a few key places. Just, it's my car and I'm going to have a few extra ones just because it never hurts to have a bit more strength. I mean, if you know the old Falcons, you know that when they went to the next series of Falcon, XAs were very much like this, but XB onwards, there's a big honking girder that's welded from the pillar to about there on the car to add strength. So yeah, there must have been some thoughts there going that not super strong. And on the later Falcons, there's actually a brace that goes from there to there, chassis rail to the torque box. So and on the bigger LTDs and stuff, they box in that whole section. So there must be some thinking that some of it could be stronger, which is why I was like, I'll just add a couple extra welds. Not gonna hurt me. But yes, I have been replacing heaps. I've got tons to go. I've got a whole new wheel tub. That's also by the same mold that make the engine bay panel really good. Which is obviously going to replace all that. That's the new wheel arch for the back. This came off the donor ute that gave up the plenum chamber. Paid $100 for that ute. You might go, why'd you cut up a good ute? Because somebody already bastified it. The ute had been chopped, had a chop top done to it, and not very well, so the roof was about that tall. and it was just a disaster. And I went, oh well, it'll go to save another ute, and it has. Because if I didn't have this piece, I would have sent this ute to scrap about 3 weeks ago. I would have just gone, not worth fixing. But luckily, I did have it, and I have another roof, because I'm going to replace the entire roof from about here across. I'm going to brace it up once I finish all this area and it's strong in the bottom. I'll take those braces out and I'll brace and then sectionally remove piece by piece, pull the roof off until I figure out how actually stuffed it is. I know it's pretty bad, and that gives you some idea. So I've got another roof from a sedan that's about here up and over, and it being a sedan it's way longer, and but it has the same front. So what I'll do is when I get to about here, I'll just cut this down about an inch, not an inch, about a centimetre. So I've left, so I can leave the factory edge on this because it's quite nice, and I'll just join the two of them, have a big long weld along the edge, and it'll be all good. And yeah, I have to do this ute in stages because I actually work doing the same exact stuff for a living. So I took 2 weeks off to do my own stuff because I wanted to make some progress on my own cars. So this is mine, that's a customer's. That too, you would think, oh yeah, that's not a bad XY. That's because I've already done a whole bunch of stuff to it. That has also had 2 new seal panels and the bottoms of all the pillars replaced. So the whole corner of that plenum chamber was like as bad as this one. Maybe not as bad, but well on the way. I've done a rear quarter on it, I've done a wheel arch. So like this whole side, gas filler hole gone, lower rear quarter, inner wheel arch, seal panel, bottom of the pillars, whole corner of the plenum chamber, the back, the boot channels up to there. I've got that to go, that to go. I've done a dog leg, whole seal, bottom. The only difference is these were factory original. Don't ask me where he got them, but original seal panels, and they fitted perfect. Those reproduction ones that are, one of them is currently welded to my ute. Very good. Very good. But it's way easier doing a sedan than it is a ute, I'll tell you that right now. But yes, we're well into it. But don't forget to like, share and subscribe. You don't have to like the videos. I do these for almost my own sanity, really. You know, if you're keen to see me do a certain piece that you want a bit more detail, don't forget to mention it. It does help because I can look into it. But I tend not to do videos on the customers' cars because doing videos is way more time consuming than you might think to do, despite it's just me rambling on. But I don't want to chew up customers' valuable money and time making a video when I can do it on my own and it doesn't bother me. But yes, now it's looking good. Yeah, now you'd continue with it, but before, whoo-wee, ay. And it's funny, I was thinking of it earlier, going, the only areas I haven't touched are either rusty coloured or green. So if you think about it, I've actually replaced, I will have when I'm done, all of the driver's footwell, including the seal panel, outer seal panel, bottom of the pillar, everything. Like that whole section. It's all new. And I've still got a couple of repairs to do under this car. So actually once I've done the car to the point where it's, you know, looking okay, I'm actually going to put on a rotisserie and turn it upside down and do some of the other stuff that I know is underneath it that needs a little bit of love. So some of the suspension mounts are crispy, you might say. Some of the seams are a bit fatter than they should be. So I'm going to redo them. I'll probably do... I can either pay $1,700 and have someone make me an entire new floor, which I thought was good, or I could make it out of checker plate, which I thought was also good. And still umming and ahhing about replacing these outer inner wheel tubs because they are beaten senseless. They've been beaten on like they owed you money. And obviously I'm going to have to replace the tailgate skin. Whoa, Nelly. And rebuild all of the inner. Thank God I don't have to pay myself, eh? Oh, and then all of that part, rear window section, as you can tell, is pretty well knackered too. So, that's the latest. Keep watching. I try and do these as often as I can, but sometimes life gets in the way. So, thank you.